Lost your 2 seconds.
All right, guys, trunks are good here. These trunks are still a little high, so I'm gonna give them to the top of the letters. Gave your instructions in the back, gentlemen. Protect yourselves at all times, listen to my commands. Touch them up. Back to your corner, guys.
Good, Rudy. Mark.
All right, 2 140-pounders. Maybe Chris will be paying a little more attention in this one. That is your weight division. You are an active fighter, and Dadashev does have an ABF super lightweight title. He's made 1 successful defense of that, and this is defense number 2 against a fighter we haven't had a chance to talk much about yet, but Ricky Sismundo, a Filipino fighter, but fighting out of Yokohama, Japan.
Yeah, I've watched some tape on Sismundo, and you know, he's got a tricky style. I'm curious to see how Dadashev is going to deal with that. You know, Sismundo he's a little bit of an explosive guy. Doesn't use the jab too much, but will jump in with power punches, which can be difficult to deal with. But Dadashev has the pedigree in the amateurs and the skills, and we'll see, and some power too. So we'll see what he can do with Sismundo.
He also has the height and reach advantage, as you can see here on the screen. 5 inches in height difference between the two, and 3 inches reach advantage for Mad Max in this fight. As you see him right away, just starting off the jab.
Yep, using the jab and good foot movement. Moving around the ring, making his shorter opponent have to lunge even more than normal.
Dadashev ranked number 7 by the IBF and WBC at 140 pounds, working his way to what he hopes to be a world title shot later on this year. He had a stellar amateur background and much success now, 12-0, 10 KOs as a pro.
Sismundo with a ton of experience. You see him moving in with his head movement, side to side, trying to get inside the longer reach of Dadashev.
Yeah, over 50 fights now for Sismundo, oftentimes in his opponent's backyard, as he finds himself once again here in Southern California, where Maxim Dadashev trains about 2 hours north in Oxnard. Dadashev doing a great job, working off the jab, sticking and moving.
Similar to the great Filipino legend in Manny Pacquiao, Sismundo's got those massive calves.
Oh my goodness, does he? And that's where a lot of the power comes from, is from your legs and from your calves.
Absolutely, lower body strength is important for punch power. Sismundo not known as a powerful puncher, but definitely a power puncher. You know, he's not much of a jabber, likes to throw his overhands, rips shots to the body on both sides. Right,
not necessarily one-punch knockout power, but can break his opponents down by the accumulation of punches and the power throughout the course of a fight.
You can see he's in supreme condition.
Both fighters are, yeah.
Both, absolutely. I think that Dadashev, being as tall as he is, has to be in supreme condition in order to make it down to the 140-pound division.
Yeah, you know something about that.
A little bit.
Nutrition, it's very, very important.
Hard work helps too.
Oh, just a little bit. Feeling out round, but effective off the jab has been Dadashev, as we come to an end here of round 1 in Costa Mesa. You see Buddy McGirt there in the corner. You want to talk about another legend? We saw one in the corner of Pulev in that last fight, Buddy McGirt. Man, great to see him back, and what an amazing job he did with Kovalev in that last fight with Alvarez as well. It always sticks out in my mind because it's the most recent that we've seen him on a big stage.
Absolutely, I was there in Dallas when Kovalev won back his title, defeating later Alvarez, the man who beat him for his title.
Right.
And he came back, knocked him out actually, and Kovalev definitely utilizing skills learned in the gym with the great Buddy McGirt. Went out there, boxed beautifully, fought very, very smart and measured, and won his title back.
You know, something that stuck out to me in talking with Buddy in that fight, and you know, in the conversation since then, has just been like, so much of boxing is about the basics and doing the basics very well. And that's what he got Kovalev to do in that fight, and that's what we've seen so far in round 1 from Dadashev. The jab, everything off the jab.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, with my background in combat sports, from wrestling to kickboxing to boxing, the fundamentals always work. At the highest level, you see guys doing the things that work, and those are the things that you often learn the first day.
Sismundo trying to go to the body a little bit more to start round 2.
Just seems like Sismundo's having a little bit of trouble closing the distance. You know, he's, like I said, he's a little bit of a lunging fighter. Dives in with the multiple punches.
And Dadashev kind of has that high, tight guard.
Looking to counter on the as Sismundo comes in and doing a good job so far.
Yeah, he landed an effective left counter punch right there, and double jab, 4-punch combination as he loops that left hand.
Speaking of the fundamentals, that was a beautiful 1-1-2-3, just like they show you on day number 1. And relaxed movement, just staying just outside of Sismundo's range. Though we do have a little bit of mark high on the head on the right side of Dadashev. Not sure if that was from a clash of heads or from a punch.
Sismundo maybe would have to jump to punch up there on the top of the head of Dadashev.
I've seen him jump several times already,
Yeah.
and in past videos as well.
Dadashev patient, taking his time, landing efficient, effective shots.
Efficient being the key word there. I like how tight Dadashev is staying right now. He hasn't quite figured his man out yet. He's got some awkward movement. Even for a long-arm fighter, he's staying extremely, extremely tight from a defensive position. Good discipline shown so far.
Max working the body a little bit more, and then comes back with the double jab. And he's extremely ripped for this fight.
Yeah.
He's got muscles coming out of everywhere. The conditioning and the work that they get in Oxnard, it's amazing. They're so competitive that they compete there in jump rope. They compete in jumping jacks. They compete in who could throw the ball farther. I mean, it's just anything that they do there. It's a competitive nature.
And that's why we see these guys being so successful. You know, they're constantly improving.
Oh! And he gets dropped.
Wow, I didn't see. I think that was a right hook.
Wow, Maxim Dadashev is getting the standing 8 count. Seems like a quick knockdown.
His legs are good.
But right at the end of round 2. Wow. That's the way you steal a round.
That was surprising.
Wow.
Curious to see that replay here.
Yeah, their backs were kind of right towards us in that moment, so we didn't get a clear shot of what that punch was, but Dadashev hits the canvas.
See, that's why you always have to stay on your P's and Q's in the boxing ring.
And just a
straight left hand.
Straight
right down
left
the middle.
hand.
Yeah.
And
so Dadashev was doing, he got caught in the middle of a counter that he's been successful with so far. He kind of slips to the outside and rips a short right hook, and he just got beat to the punch. Like I said, Sismundo is kind of a jumpy, lunging in fighter, and that was exactly what happened.
And it's tricky to time.
Absolutely, that's what I was saying earlier. That's why.
And that's what happens. And this is the first time as a professional that Maxim Dadashev has hit the canvas. It was a flash knockdown, and fortunately for him, right at the end of the bell. So I'm sure he has his wits about him, but we'll see how quickly he recovers here in round 3.
Whether he has his wits about him or not, let's see how it does to him psychologically. First time spent hitting the canvas.
Yeah, always something that you got to look for with a fighter. Just 12 professional fights, dealing with a little bit of adversity now, and in what now is a 1-1 fight.
And he has a serious veteran in front of him with a lot of experience.
Over 50 fights.
Yeah, been in with some very tough guys.
Maybe it'll encourage him to step up the action a little bit more. We talked about his tight guard and how he's been very patient in there, but maybe a little more sense of urgency, wanting to get back what he lost in that round from that knockdown.
Well, he's already been busier with his left jab, which I'm happy to see, because I was wondering why he wasn't utilizing the left hand so much early on. He was going more to the right hand to the lead, which is what got him in trouble. You know what they say, live by the sword, die by the sword. Yeah, Sismundo has that tricky in and out, jerky style. It's very hard to time, like you said, Christina.
And this Sismundo's only second fight here in the U.S. And, you know, you get the sense from talking to him this week that he's been on the wrong end of some of these decisions that should have gone his way fighting in opponents' backyards. And he knows that a knockdown and a knockout would be huge, even though he's the veteran in this fight, just with all the amateur pedigree and what Dadashev brings into the ring. And that would be a huge feather in the cap of a career of an over 50 fight veteran.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And you can tell just by even the physique, the way that he came in here, Sismundo is here to win.
A good overhand right there from Dadashev. Sismundo making a miss a little bit here. That side-to-side, tricky movement.
This has been a competitive round. It's a little hard to score. And I think Dadashev is probably spending more time in control of the rounds, being the ring general, but Sismundo keeps landing good, tricky little shots when he lunges in. Again, we've got another clash of styles. You know, Dadashev.
Oh, good left hand from Dadashev, right over the gloves of Sismundo.
As I was saying, Dadashev's so classy in his technique and the way he throws and releases his punches, and Sismundo almost the opposite, just getting it done.
Tough round to score, round 3, as both fighters have moments. That was a tough one.
That was tough, but
Dadashev.
I like the classy boxing, good technique of Dadashev in that round. But very close, very, very close. So I got this fight all even with that 10-8 round in round number 2 from the knockdown. We're going to see a nice left hand here from Dadashev, who did a check, nice counter hook, landed right below the ear of Sismundo. Beautiful shot, but he took it well. Sismundo didn't show any ill effects from that. Again, being a 50-plus pro fight veteran, you know how to take a shot.
If you can put your trainer hat on for a second in your betting booker, what are you telling Maxim Dadashev as we head into round 4?
Keep utilizing the movement that you've been using. Be a little more prolific with that left jab, up, down, up and down, up and down. You know, Dadashev's been a little bit tall. You know, he's fighting in one height range. He needs to change levels like he did there, but also using the jab that way. Maybe holster that right hand a little bit for a few rounds, set things up.
Oh, and a good, nice left hand again by Dadashev. Found a home with that very same punch in the last round and picks right back up where in a 3-punch combination, body and head.
Good left hook.
With the left hook from Dadashev.
I like how Dadashev is like whipping that left hook, staying nice and loose in the shoulder and just whipping it over.
And throwing it multiple times instead of just once.
Still coming forward, throwing, and he is landing little shots in there. Dadashev getting the better of it, but Sismundo is a very, very live underdog.
Sismundo with those leg feints trying to draw in Dadashev.
I'm curious how long Sismundo can pick up this keep up this frantic pace. We know Dadashev has a great gas tank. He gets stronger as fights go on. Not so sure about that, about Sismundo, especially with this kind of output.
He's almost standing a little more stagnant in this round in Sismundo. He used to kind of do that herky-jerky, yeah, TikTok, however you want to call it, back and forth. And he's standing and planting his feet a little bit more than he was in the first 3 rounds.
I don't know if you just saw that. That was a very Manny Pacquiao-esque combination that Sismundo landed, where he threw the right hand and came up and leapt into the left hand.
A Filipino fighter that maybe has watched some film on a Manny Pacquiao. I mean, come on.
I'm pretty sure that they watch film in school.
I was about to say, it's the gospel. Quite literally now.
Yeah, watch film mass.
Dadashev, very efficient with his punches.
Continue. Yeah.
Nice short little punches on the inside there. Dadashev.
Oh, big right hand and left from Dadashev that floors Sismundo.
Oh,
and it's over.
That's it.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Beautiful combination. 1-2 punch from Dadashev, and he scores knockout number 11.
I think that was actually a left hook, right hand combination. I think the left landed clean and heavy. I mean, that's one way to get a knockdown back. Big KO.
Big knockout. Maxim Dadashev making a statement here
Just
tonight.
take a look at that big left hook, right hand combination that's put Sismundo flat on his back and out for the night. And you see, so this is what Dadashev pops back, gets Sismundo to reach a little bit, stops on a dime, bang. Hard left hook, like I said earlier, wings that left hook, nice and loose in the shoulder, landed right on the point of the chin of Sismundo. Really, the right hand was extra icing on the cake, wasn't even necessary.
And he turned everything into that right hand, too. That's a great 1-2. Let's send it up to Lupe Contreras to make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout comes to a sudden and dramatic end with an official time of 2 minutes, 30 seconds of the fourth stanza. Your winner, by way of KO, still undefeated, Maxim Dadashev.
As he lets out his customary yell at the end and improves his record now to 13-0, 11 knockouts. He wanted to make a statement in the 140-pound division. Chris, do you think he did that tonight?
Absolutely.